Hello and welcome. This is the fourth video in a short series of tutorials for the Cloudbuilt Community Level Editor. Before we start, I want to mention this wiki. This is the place where we collect all kind of information about the editor and where we collect these videos and like a list of hotkeys and tips and tricks and things like that. Please feel free to help out and build this editor, as we will build it out as we go. So there might be some information missing, but if you know that information, we are more than grateful if you help out, fill it in, because our time is quite limited, sadly. So with that out of the way, let's start with an overview of this video. This video will cover essentially some assets that I missed in the last video about commonly used assets. And I will also cover some things that got changed with the latest patch. And that's basically all. So this will hopefully be a short video, and I've done some preparations and hopefully make it even shorter, but let's see how that goes. So the first item on my list is a sweeper. That was the asset I tried to show you last time, but it didn't work. So let's add a sweeper. It's in the default size, but you can use a scale tool to scale it up. One important thing to know is that if you press shift, you can see an object's local axis. You see the axis shifts a little bit when I press shift. The sweeper pushes the player in a negative y-axis, a negative green axis, with other words. So you need to turn it around, and then I placed it on the ground again. It's a little bit fiddly, but it's quite important. I can show you what happens if I don't adjust that. To change these rails, so it, for example, can stand on the ground, you can rotate them like this. So let's write it 90 and 90. Let's adjust it to the right height. Yeah, that will do. Okay, maybe a little bit higher. You can see the sweeper head, or the laser. It's moving back and forth. If you press this, if you fill in this box, it will just move one way. You can add more lasers by adding laser maximum of 4, as it says there. They have offsets, so right now there are 2 lasers with the same offsets. So if you just change this value, you can set it to whatever you want. You can make it higher than that if you want to. It will be invisible, this new head, until you scale. Start a scale tool. That's a bug, but you'll have to live with it, sadly. You can change the width of the lasers, and you can do whatever you want, really. If you want to make them higher, you scale the y-axis of the asset. So let's not make them too wide. Okay, so most other things should be self-explanatory, so let's... Oh, that warning is quite important. Oh, bad start location. But let's try this out now. You can see I get pushed up in the air when I get hit. So that the warning that I saw earlier, that's the indication that there's some small error in the rotation matrix of this asset. So in those cases, you might want to save the level, and it will warn you again, and then load the level again. It will now once you save, it shouldn't warn you anymore. That's sadly something we haven't got time to fix, so you have to live with it. Yeah, let's show you what happens if it's upside down. Like you can see, I don't get pushed at all, and this can actually be quite bad because I take damage multiple times. So make sure to turn them in the right direction. So that's all for the sweepers. Let's move on and make this hopefully sub 30 minutes video. Next item on the list is gate. So this is changed with the it's shield gates and Blue shields. Let's add a shield door. We call them shield doors or shield gates. That's the assets are still not named the best, but you know that since before. So the new thing is that you can use color override. If you select this box and select a new color, it will get that color once it's in the editor, once you're playing, but it will not show up in the editor. So let's try it out. Yes. So now you can use that to indicate if they have different behaviors. It's nothing advanced, but it's useful. So the next thing is an asset that I forgot last time, and that's the damage gate and the generators. So let's put this up here. So like you know from the Defiance DLC, enemies can see and shoot through this, but you can't. If you go against them, you take damage. To remove them, you have to destroy a generator. So let's add a generator. It's this one. Let's place it here. It will only turn off gates that's within its notification area. It's sadly a wrong name here, but if you select this, you can see the notification area. So this will not turn off the gate if you kill it. Select the notification area, move it over to the gate, and now it should turn it off. Let's try it out. Yes. So that's not that advanced, but it takes a little setup to make it right. Most other things should be self-explanatory. Oh, here's another interesting bug. If you delete a generator to have its notification area visible, it will stay there until you reload the level, or until you undo the delete, make it invisible and delete it. It's a bug and we should fix it, but we have not the time. There's a lot of small things like that. So let's move on to the next thing. Next thing is the player settings. So there are some small changes to the player. For example, now the max energy actually works. Let's put it to 200 and show it off. You can see how many double jumps I can do now. If I put it to less than 100 and start, you can see that one double jump takes almost a whole meter. Let's put it back to 100. Let's not do anything fancy. One other thing is the ghost mode. If you select this mode, you will not have any weapon and you will not have any energy. The camera will always be centered on the player instead of on the side. I believe if you actually put this to 0, you can maybe... No, it's not true. Okay. The GUI is not working correctly in the editor. One other thing that is new is this allow edge dash exploit. This is by default on, and this is how the main game is. That you can play when you play it on your own in the story missions. But we enabled you to turn this off in your own levels. So I can show you what it is. I'll first add a copy of the floor here. This should be enough. Let's generate abstracts. Okay, and save. Now, if you stand on a small edge like this, it will actually count as a slope. That's good sometimes. Oh, I should not have the ghost player. But it can actually exploit it with this charged dash. It can give me quite a lot of height. You can also do this on edges like this. No, this was a bad example. Oh, too much. I'm not doing this particularly well, but if I don't get this time, you'll have to just trust me. One try. It's not Yeah. The further out you stand on the edge, the more like a slope will be counted as. Like, so you can get quite a lot of height. So if I change it up, uncheck this, and now play, you will see that if I stand on this, you can see that I actually slide a little bit backwards when I start charging. And also, it will not count as a slope. I go straight forward. Ah, this is so fiddly. I don't have the precision to do this well. I know some other players do, but not me. Oh, that's quite good. You see, when I'm pressing like that, I even lose my grip. I get pushed back over the edge. So that's it for that option. So this is also a new setting. This is, default value is 0, but if you change it to a higher value, you can actually negate how useful the air comms is. Like if I press, if I it's in default value, I can get quite far by doing a trick like that. It costs a lot of energy, but it's very, very useful. So if I change this value to 0.13, it will be much, much harder to get, get it much shorter. But it won't affect like normal abilities that much. You can still dash and do a lot of abilities, but the higher you make it, the greater effect it will have. So I think 0.13 is in the highest you should go. You shouldn't ever make it higher, but let's experiment and make it real high. So if you put it like this high, you can see the effect. I cannot even double jump right now. That's how long, there's extra time it adds to the jump, to the boost abilities mid-air. So let's keep this like this for now. That's it for the changes to the player. Let's see the time, it's 12 minutes, okay. So let's go on and the game mode, yeah, okay. So some changes on the settings panel. First of all, we have the level settings. Now we can select music, and that's quite nice. And you can also set the volume. This is the default volume most music in the game use, and I would recommend us to go higher unless you actually want it to be quite loud. Number of retries is how many lives you will start the level with, and this is quite useful to actually be able to set that now. On the game modes, we also added. Oh, I can show you this. This is how you select an icon, but it's quite obvious, I hope. We added a new option, override max energy. So now we can actually make a game mode that uses less or more energy than normal. And that's about it for the game modes. We also fixed the render settings, so they are much simpler now. So you don't have any values that is not actually used. And it should not be that difficult. Don't change these values unless you know what you're doing. All other things I think you can just play around with it and figure out how it works. But let's not dwell too much on that. Okay. The hotkeys for the panels don't seem to work for me now. That's sad, but nothing to do about that now. Let's focus on something else. So that's most things I want to go through. One last thing is the weapon pickup. And that's, I prepared some weapons here because it's quite a lot of options if you want to make your own weapon, but you can build your own weapon almost from scratch. Like you can build the kind of weapon you have in the game normally, and you can build the kind of weapon you have in assault mode, or you can build any of these weapons. I'll try to submit a level like this soon on the workshop, so you can see for yourself and try to mimic any of this if you want to. Oh, it seems like most of my hotkeys actually have stopped working. That's not good. I wonder what happened. So I've not seen that before, but let's reload the editor. It will probably go fast like that. Go to Steam. Oh, I should remove that and play launch level editor. Oh, there's one more thing I want to go through as well. I want to teach you how to recover autosave. There's an autosave feature in the editor that will save your level within 5 minutes of editing, or it should at least do that. If you want, so I'll teach you how to find those autosaves and how to restore them if you actually lose your level. So now how this working is okay. Let's just show you first how you add a weapon. It's not advanced, but it's called basic weapon pickup. So let's add this one first to the left, and let's play now and see how this works. I'll show you them just quickly. So I'm of course in ghost mode, right? Oh, the hotkey for saving didn't work before, so it didn't actually save when I pressed control. It says it's saved if it's actually saving, so pay attention to that if you don't want to lose something. Okay, so let's start. So if I take this is how the default weapon. But you can change it to be something more like this, where it's a homing shot. It's actually a homing shot with a bit of gravity, so you have to aim higher to actually hit something. If you charge it, you can make a much larger non-homing lobbing shots. It does quite a lot of damage and a lot of splash. Okay, so let's take a next weapon. This weapon is quite weird. It's just me playing around, so it's actually it's homing if you're close enough, but if you're not close enough, it will actually not reach it. It will just turn around. You can see it like that. Okay, so let's go to the next weapon. This is quite interesting weapon. Okay, so let's go on to the next weapon. This is actually kind of a sniper. It has not many bullets, but they are really quick and very high damage. It will insta-kill most enemies. Oh. It's quite high recoil though. Okay, so that's it for those weapons. And I will try to submit these weapons and maybe some more, so you can play around with them and see what kind of settings I'm using. The most advanced part is probably the recoil. So if I remove the gravity on this weapon, well, it's not actually using any gravity. Okay, so oh yeah, it's a name collision. So that's important to know. That's actually not something I should teach you. The name here, if another weapon is using the same name, when you try to use that name down here, it will actually take it's possible to take another weapon, so make sure you have unique names on your bullets. So that's actually the default weapon. So let's make that a bit, let's make it a smaller explosion. So explosion 1. Okay, and let's make sure that, so let's zero out this recoil. I'll not go over this too much, and let's zero out the camera shake. So now you'll see how things are when you have zero recoil. It's not feel any powerful, and you will be able to shoot your whole mag in the exact same location. So I'll try to just briefly go over this. These variables describe how the aim diverge. So the pre values, they determine how much the bullet diverge before it's fired from the gun. So it's actually how accurate it is compared to the crosshair. The post values, these are how much the camera is shifted after the bullet is fired. And the camera shake is how much the camera will shake when you shoot. What determines how much the recoil actually builds up and how it recovers are these values, these 5 values. It's quite advanced, but essentially there's a hidden value that's called recoil and another called recovery. The recoil value goes up each time you fire with this add value to a maximum of this max, and it recovers over time with this recover min, but that's value as long as you're not shooting also increase with this add. So if you're not shooting, it will recover faster and faster and faster, exponentially. So that's actually probably all I show you about the weapons. So let's round this off with that's what just with camera shake. So let's round this off with showing you how to recover an autosave. So if I open up I open up this. If you see my games, Coilworks, Cloudbuilt, custom levels, here you will find all your levels. If you open up a level, you will see these out to 1 to 11. If you sort them on date, you will see which one is newest. You can see this one is actually the newest, and this is the main level. This is the one that will get loaded. If you want to load any of the others, you have to rename them. So just add some kind of extension to this. Now if you try to load this level, it won't load at all. So let's load this one instead. Okay, so there you hear the signal. That's actually the alarm going off. I'll be right back. Sorry about this. I want to do this without editing, so I will not edit out this part, sadly. But I'll be right back. I had hoped to get this done before the alarm went off, but it's a bit too late here, but it's fine. So don't worry about that. So, yeah, sorry. So, now I rename this. Now this will get loaded, but let's take a file that is older so we can actually see that the level is different. Oh, yeah, okay. So let's take this one. And now if we try to load our own level again, open scene, you will see that this is not the same level. This is an autosave from much earlier. I hope that is helpful. If you have any questions, like usual, just let us know. You can contact us in the comments below, or you can contact us on Reddit, on Twitter, on Facebook maybe. Yeah, of course, Facebook if you want, and the Steam forums. I would recommend the Steam forums. It's easier for us to keep track of things there, as we try to focus most things about Cloudbuilt there, but also Reddit is often used. You can also head over to the Steam forums or Reddit if you just want to hang out. We're there almost every day and replying and talking with the players, so feel free. Next video will come out soon, I hope, and it will be about some tips and tricks and hotkeys, tools and actions that you might be very good to know about and know how to use when you are working with the level editor and your own levels. So I hope look forward to that and find it useful as well. That's it for now. Sorry about the delay earlier, and I hope to see you on the Steam forums. And I hope, and yeah, that's awkward ending. Cool. So that's it for now. Bye.